Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Julie. This is all about my recovery from back fusion surgery. It is roughly about 72 hours from back surgery, and doing okay at this point. I think this is the first day I feel like I've done okay. So I don't know the whole story as far as what happened yet. I haven't been able to put two and two together quite yet, but my surgery was delayed going in. Supposed to start at I think 9 o'clock, and we didn't get in there until after 10, which is fine. You know, stuff happens. The hospital was very busy that morning. You could hear all kinds of codes for everything, so it was just crazy. Um, but what was really crazy was I was told it was like going to be maybe a 3 to 4 hour surgery. Ended up being more like a 6 hour surgery. So I wasn't too surprised with that, just because I felt like my uh, uh, what you call it? I felt like I felt like there was going to be a lot of scarring in my back just from having these problems all these years. But so I don't really know for sure kind of what took place. Um, I don't remember a whole lot the first day. I remember bits and pieces coming out of surgery. Um, I remember very vaguely waking up in the PACU, um, being rolled up into the room. I remember that a little bit. I remember my husband coming in to see me. Um, and yeah, it was just, you know, that was pretty much it. I've had a lot of memory issues, as you can imagine, afterwards. I keep forgetting what day of the week it is. Thankfully, I have my husband to keep track of all my medications, because it feels like it's something every couple of hours, whether it's just something like Tylenol versus codeine versus my normal medications and whatnot. So, um, pain wise, it's definitely better today. Yesterday was pretty rough, and the day before was pretty rough. I I did get up and walk. I didn't walk very much that first day. I got up and walked from the gurney that they brought me out of surgery with. I got off of that and took 4 or 5 steps to the bed and laid down there. And then I think it was later that night that I hadn't gotten up yet. So they're like, do you want to get up? And I was like, yes, let's just get up. So I walked like, I don't know, maybe 30 steps, 40 steps maybe, um, and back. And so the nurses were all absolutely fantastic. I love them all. I probably this funny slash stupidest thing I did the whole time was I had this joke in my head that I wanted to tell every single person I met. So I literally told the same joke to every single person I met on the day of surgery, and even after surgery. And it's my pirate joke. I'll tell you guys. So it's what's a pirate's favorite letter of the alphabet? Now everybody goes R. When they say R, you say, nah, it'd be the C. So I don't know. That would just makes me laugh. So I told that joke like 15 times. Um, so yeah, I remember more about, I remember a lot about the pre-op procedures, getting the IV, getting everything squared away. See, so many people that have to come in the room to see you. It actually goes pretty fast. Um, Even with the hour delay, it felt like it went pretty fast, because somebody was coming in to see, first it was like the general surgeon comes in to see you, because with an ALIF, you have a general surgeon or there's two surgeons. The general surgeon comes in to kind of open you up and get you ready for the neurosurgeon to come in. And so he came in, and then the neurosurgeon came in, and then there was a neurotech that monitors like my neurological signals throughout my spine, my arms and legs and everything through surgery, make sure everything's working well. My anesthesiologist came in, and the OR charge nurse came in. Actually, there were two OR charge nurses that came in. And I remember when they took me into the operating room, I always think it's bigger. It's crazy big compared to what you think it's going to be. It's got to be like, I mean, at least like 30 feet by 30 feet, maybe. I have a tough time judging when I'm on my back, right? And they make you kind of, you're semi naked. You're kind of naked. I mean, you have your gown that opens in the back, and you kind of have to scoot over, and it's false modesty, people, because once you're unconscious, they whip your clothes off and do all kinds of stuff, and so don't worry about your modesty. They go and see everything. Um, but there were still the same, the two OR charge nurses that were kind of getting stuff on me ready. The anesthesiologist was getting stuff on me. They were right there. But then as I looked around, there were different people. There was a couple people over on the sides. Looked like they were pulling out trays of instruments and doing different things. People were coming in and out of a room down to my right. And I missed, you just kind of keep thinking, any second now, I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to have a back fusion. It just, I don't know. There's a certain level of things are about to change. And I can't say that I was, there is some fear. I mean, why wouldn't there be some fear? Of course there's some fear. You don't quite know what it's going to be like. You don't quite know what you're going to wake up like. So, yeah, but it was okay. I felt like, and I don't know if it was the medications or what, I just had a very positive mood the whole time, and I was glad for that. I think the staff is always glad around you when you have a good mood. You could tell they were hesitant at times to tell me, like, hey, your surgery is going to be delayed. And I'm like, it's no problem. What am I going to be doing? I'm just going to be laying here. And so, but anyway, always be nice to your medical personnel. I had a chat with one of the nurses beforehand, and we were just talking about, how much, did she like her job and whatnot. Because I always ask everybody that when I meet them, but I just like to research, and it's so hard for doctors and nurses going through COVID. I mean, I can't even imagine what that was like, but they but just it was so hard. You could just tell how hard it was, and I don't want to be a reason why there's any bad feelings or anything. So they took so good care of me. They just all the way through it. It was just awesome. They were awesome people. Food was all right. I ate some good food. I had some chicken fried steak. Both mornings I was there. Let's see. Had surgery Tuesday. Didn't get out of surgery until close to 5 o'clock. Tuesday, late Tuesday afternoon. And the thing about that is that there's a board out front in like the waiting area, and it lists like everybody who's having surgery that day in the joint and spine center that I went to. And there was probably like 12, 15 names up there. And I was probably one of the first. I was probably one of the, like, only maybe like a couple people had gone in before me, but I was like, my husband was the last one in the waiting room, just to tell you how long it took. But that was kind of crazy. I felt bad that he had to wait so long. Not that I could do anything about it, but so they what else did they do? So yeah, so they put me in the room. Oh yeah, so that night I got to eat. They didn't give me a lot of choices to eat. It was mostly just what kind of snacks do you want? And I'm like, snacks, yes. So I got graham crackers, which are the best tasting graham crackers ever when you haven't eaten in over a day. And chocolate pudding. Very, very excellent chocolate pudding. And at first I was just drinking water. Then I was like, I wonder what I can get away with. Can I have some soda? And she's like, absolutely. And I was like, gosh, soda. And so I got some of that and did that, and kind of passed out. Next morning, Wednesday morning, I woke up, and the pain was always there. The pain was just managing different levels of pain, and they gave me IVs for the first, I want to say 24 hours or so, Just that first morning, I think I was on IVs. And they may have switched me over to orals later in the day. I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, we got up and walked a little bit more here and there a couple of times. Not a ton. Honestly, I was just sleeping a lot. But here's the funny thing about sleeping when you're in the hospital like that. And I noticed this from the point after my surgery to the point I left, is that I would fall asleep and I would wake up and I'd be like, man, I slept a long time. That was such a good sleep. What did I get? 2-3 hours nap? It was 20 minutes. 20 minutes every single time I took a nap. It's crazy. So, but yeah, so I didn't get a lot done, but I mean, what was I going to get done? Not a lot of walking, not a lot of this and that. But it went by really fast, and I had a drain on my side. A drain to basically pull out the fluid from inside my, I don't know if it was inside my abdomen or inside my back. It was on the side, so I'm not 100% sure which site it was pulling the fluid out of, but it was, I had 150 cc's the first night, and then 100 cc. It was a lot, It was like, they're debating about whether or not to take it out or keep me another day, but I haven't really noticed any puffiness since I've been home. I'll need to feel for that later, but I didn't realize I was going to have a drain, so not a big deal. Usually you'll have a drain whenever they think that, there may be a lot of fluid accumulation in a certain spot. So that's not a big deal. It really isn't. What else is going on? I have one incision in the front, and my ALIF in the front is right across my belly button, which is, I thought my ALIF would be on the side, but maybe it's in the front based on waist circumference. I don't know. Maybe larger waist circumferences, it's just easier to kind of tilt you on your side a little bit and go in through your side, maybe. I don't know. But they went in right through my, so I've got more belly buttons. I had a couple scars around my belly button from my gallbladder removal. So now I'm going to have it's going to almost look like a tic-tac-toe kind of thing. I'm going to have a little hole. Anyway, the back is really interesting. I have I do threes like this. I have 3 vertical incisions in the back. What the heck? I knew I was going to have, I thought I was going to have 2. Some people only have 1, but I think that was because the pars fractures were likely hard to get out. I had long-standing pars chronic stress fractures that were the source of all of this, and I would not be surprised if those suckers just were bulky enough that they required their own incisions to remove. So I'll probably find out from the operative report and from whatever it is that I talk to the doc. So I just be curious in that regard. Just from a standpoint of, I mean, you run into the I call them back truthers. Like, you shouldn't need a back fusion, blah 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 blah, whatever. And man, I needed a back fusion. I had a lot of issues. And so I'm glad I had it done when I did. I think knowing that it was this rough at this age, if I had waited another 5 years or whatever, it would have been so much rougher. Speaking of which, not the age, but the pain. So I haven't had any foot pain, no ankle foot pain, no ankle, no foot, no nothing pain. Tingliness is gone. I've been doing a lot of flexing my feet, rolling my toes, bending my ankles back and forth, just trying to kind of keep those moving. I got some stockinets on to sort of keep on the pressure on my legs. Yeah, so all that's gone really well. Today is definitely the first day that I felt remotely mentally there. And I'm still not quite, I'm still like forgetting stuff and whatnot, but I do otherwise feel okay. So, Just took some pain medication a little while ago. Gonna need to get up and take a shot. But I got take some medicine. But I got my PB&J here. Make sure you eat after surgery. I feel like that's incredibly important. I felt every time I would eat something, I felt better afterwards. Just from a, like energy perspective. Give your body some fuel so that, it's doing a lot to try to heal you. Fuel it. Give it some fuel. All right, so I'm going to make some more videos here coming up about some different things. I think that's probably it for now. Yeah, I'm so glad that I'm done. I'm glad that we're on day 3 or whatever post-op. I really am. And my husband has been an absolute all-star taking care of me. The best. Can you do this on your own? You could if you had to, if you were really used to being independent. It's so much better to have somebody with you. Just, keeping track of when to give the meds and whatnot. There are so many things that I just wasn't even aware of that I had to be done that he's taken care of. So, all right, I'm going to get to my PB&Js. Talk to you guys later.